In this community update today, all I want to do is say thank you. Thank you for the enormous effort that's produced the end of term. Thank you for the adjustments that everybody has made. Thank you for the feedback and the kindness of so many. Thank you to the staff who've worked enormously hard to make everything work for our students. Thank you to the students who've made that incredible mental adjustment to online learning. Thank you to our grounds and resource and maintenance staff to make everything happen. Thank you to our IT crowd who've been superb in making sure that all of the technology is working as best it can now. Thank you to our chaplaincy, our well-being, our HR team. Thank you to our aquatics team who've had to cope with so many changes and frustrations. Thank you to our print room and to all of the people behind the scenes who make all of this happen. Of course, I'm standing here just above the soundstage and enjoying this beautiful environment. Thank you, thank you, thank you for giving us such a place. Life goes on here. We're still doing our best to make it lovely for us for our return. We don't know when that will be. Clearly, we've got a little way to go. But every day is a day closer till we all come back together again. Stay connected, stay in touch. Recognize that our school is based on the firm and clear belief that we have hope. And that hope is built on the great story of Jesus, which we love to share with our community.
I'm here alone in our chapel, this beautiful place, a sacred space for many of us in the Barker community. But I like it best not like this, but when it's full, when the bell is rung and when the people come and the hymns are sung and when we come together to remind ourselves of the things that matter most in our school. I like it best when we're all here and able to celebrate new beginnings or to bring a particular season to a close. I also like the fact that it's a suitable place to gather and to grieve and to lament when sad times pay us a visit. These are extraordinary, unprecedented, once-in-a-century times. Our 21st century world hasn't had to face this sort of challenge. Yet our Barker community, with its 130-year history, has known difficult days before. We're not strangers to them. This War Memorial Chapel was built in part to remember such moments as when the school community awaited news from overseas of the fate of former students. Hoping against hope, praying for the best, fearing for the worst. Hoping, wondering and praying. And now it's our turn to be hoping and wondering and praying. The Easter season approaches. It's somewhat fitting because tragedy and all of that was certainly there in the Easter story as Jesus made his way to Calvary on the first Good Friday. And there's no end to the tragic stories out there at the moment, where there's uncertainty and fear and despair and anger and grief and sorrow. All of that was in the Good Friday story, but there's also hope. There was Friday, but Sunday was coming. And here now, amidst the spread of the virus and the dramatic disruptions and disturbances, there are signs of hope that we can and will get through this. There are small acts of kindness here, big sacrifices there, small measures, enormous measures, physical distancing, self-isolation, hard work, remote work, long hours, online learning, people everywhere doing what they can where they are because they sense that we're all in this together and that everyone needs to play their part. And we do this in hope that we will eventually get there to that better future that lies beyond these difficult days. May we be people of hope as we approach the Easter season and find fresh resources in that remarkable story. This crazy first term began with chapels full to overflowing. We joyfully welcome new students and girls into parts of our junior school and middle school for the first time. We conclude this term with an all but empty chapel. To all of you who are part of our precious Barker community, those here in Sydney, those further afield, the broad Barker community, wherever you are, current students, staff and families, former students, staff and families, do as best as you can to stay well connected. And let us know, don't hesitate, if there's any way that we can walk with you at this time. Let me leave you with a hope and a prayer. Half of the books in the New Testament, well, 13 out of the 27, are letters attributed to Paul, the Apostle Paul. And in every one of them he has a heartfelt wish, a prayer, a blessing for the individuals and the communities he addressed. Grace and peace to you, he says. So, grace and peace to you all. The Lord bless you and keep you. Amen.
So here we are at the end of term. And what better way to mark the end of term than to gather with our friends here in the atrium of the music department. And at this time of year, with so many difficult things happening around us, we remind ourselves of the great truth that despite everything, we are still able to say, "Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
When Jesus washed. When Jesus washed.
When Jesus washed.
When Jesus washed.
When Jesus washed.
My sins away.
Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. When Jesus washed. When Jesus washed. When Jesus washed my sins away. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. When Jesus washed. When Jesus washed. When Jesus washed my sins away. Happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. When Jesus washed. When Jesus washed. When Jesus washed my sins away.